Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to my journey to actually get pretty competent at Total War Warhammer 2, and I must say things are starting to look a lot better than they did last week. All the advice you guys have given me have been absolutely stellar, and now I'm actually feeling somewhat confident with Bretonnia. That's a faction I chose to try and get as good as possible at, and yeah, I definitely feel like I understand the faction quite a lot. I understand a lot of the matchups now as well, and yeah, I'm really starting to get to grips with them and get to grips with who I'm playing against. In today's battle, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, a little bit of a spoiler, but I feel like this is all about the journey of my progress through the battlefields of Warhammer 2. So yes, this is my first victory at all since I started playing Warhammer 2 again, so I'm pretty happy with that. After a long and arduous journey, I have come to actually take a victory. So in today's battle, I am obviously playing as Bretonnia. You would have seen the battle comps on the screen as we were to get started, and yeah, I've definitely refined my list. I've definitely made it a lot better, and I've kind of understood how Warhammer battles work a lot more now that I've played 10-20 games of multiplayer. One of the main things I was really struggling for as a new player was just the ability to kill heroes. I was really heavily focusing on winning the overall battlefield, but then not really putting stock into my hero killing ability. And I've definitely done that with revamping my army a little bit. I've picked up some paladins and Leoncore as well, and I've definitely got kin to using Leoncore a lot more effectively as well. I'm also using Knights of the Realm for the majority of my cavalry force. They're just a very cheaper, effective force than say just using a ton of Grail Guardians. I believe I do have a unit of Grail Knights or Grail Guardian, Grail Knights, which are my anti-large variant. I've got a unit of these, but they should definitely, I feel like, be used more as a token force than spamming these bad boys. So yeah, as you can see, I've got one of them back here, and then the majority of the rest of my cavalry is either going to be Knights of the Realm, because they're kind of just like a anti-large but much weaker unit than Grail Knights, and then I also have a unit of Questing Knights for that anti-infantry capability. They're just like, as you guys were telling me, one of the most cost-effective units. On my front line, I do just have a handful of these Spear Men-at-Arms. Super cheap, not going to put much stock into them, but they're still Spear Men-at-Arms. They're going to do okay. I at least hope they will. I've also been using the I can't remember what it's called, the special relic for Bretonnia that goes ahead and gives these guys morale and also immune to psychology. Really good for just having a front line that actually holds that little bit longer. I've been putting a lot of stock into that, and I've also been using a bunch of these Pox Arrow archers. The debuff that you get, you guys were telling me what it is, reducing melee defense, speed, and also leadership, I think it is. It's something else, but either way, really good to be applying on units, and if you can constantly keep that being applied, they just absolutely shred. So yeah, all your tips have been absolutely amazing. Keep them coming as well. If you see me making mistakes, you're like, Jackie, actually, this would be really good in your Bretonnian army, let me know in the comments down below. Going up against myself, I am fighting a free dragon force. We've got Imric here, we've got a moon dragon and also a sun dragon, so getting a bit of Pokemon up in here, sun and moon. But yeah, it's super scary. On the front lines, we do actually also have a Mage of Life to keep the front line alive. We have some Lothan Sea Guard, and then also some Silvering Guard back here as well. Luckily, I'd actually cast a replay about this army not too long ago, actually, sent it into me with one of you guys, so I wasn't actually completely taken off guard from this battle, which was actually really lucky, because this would have, as a newer player, would have completely taken me off guard if I would have seen 3 dragons. I would have been like, how the hell do I deal with this? But luckily, I actually, as I said, just cast a replay, so I was a bit more capable of knowing what's going on, and also I feel kind of confident going up against this. I have some good range, and basically all I have to do is try and keep Leoncore away from this big old selection of dragons. I know basically this is like the I'm gonna dominate the skies and kill any heroes up on the land, or try and assassinate any heroes. So my kind of goal is just to basically, sit back and just try and kind of pick away with some of these poison arrows. If I get too overextended, maybe throw in Leoncore. I've got my Grail Knights I need to try my best to keep back as far as possible. and basically just try and keep my units separated so that the Dragon Breath doesn't just annihilate a unit or two, because yeah, if I leave these guys alone, they will just, you know, all three of them, one's Dragon Breath will absolutely demolish me. Also as well, this was like my third game, I think, against this opponent, one of my members, so I knew for a fact that, you know, he was maybe going for a bit more of a jokey army, just trying to mess around with me, and because he'd beaten me so many times beforehand. But yeah, right now, just going to try and use my arrows. I'm actually doing some pretty good damage on Imric already. As you can see, he's yeah, dropped a decent amount of HP already, so I'm kind of happy with that. But I also realized that I need to keep on pushing forward. I also see that, you know, the other two dragons have kind of gone off onto the other flank. So, yeah, why not throw in King Leoncor? Leoncor is great at this. I'm just going to throw him in here, try and get some good damage off onto Imric. Imric is going to pop some of his bonuses. He's got his Star Lance on the go. And then, you know, him and Leoncor are going to fight. I mean, obviously, as soon as I start to see them dragons coming over from the other side of the battlefield, I'm going to get a Leoncor as far out of there. However, he does get the Lord of the Dragons on, which is going to be a big debuff. But luckily, again, as I said, I am kind of on my way. But this is where I make a big mistake. I kind of leave my Damsel not embedded in my Grail Knights or in any other units. I'm also putting my Grail Knights a little bit further forward. So even though my missiles are getting some good shots off, I'm kind of too busy focused on like trying to get Leoncor out of here that I don't realize that I leave my Damsel here, and this is just, you know, catastrophic. And again, the thing is as well, if I was a little bit quicker, if I realized this was happening like immediately, I could have easily have got these knights in. And actually, I say that I do get these guys in kind of quickly, right? No, but just reforming. Yeah, like if I got a good charge off with these Grail Knights, they would love to charge into these three dragons. Like they would absolutely love it. But unfortunately, that is something that we cannot show. The damsel getting absolutely ravaged by three dragons. Like I did realize that kind of quickly that was happening. But if I was a little bit quicker, I could have definitely gone in there. And yeah, unfortunately, the damsel gets absolutely annihilated. I do manage to get in here, though. And, you know, look at that damage. Look at that damage on all three of the dragons. Just from one charge from the Grail Knights. We're also getting debuffed very heavily from all my missiles. So their speed, their leadership, and also their melee defense. Oh, no, actually, I think it's weapon strength that gets debuffed. Are all coming off, and I think what I've done is I've tried to make it so that all these archers are firing in. I'm just basically trying to swamp these dragons. This has happened to me so many times where I've just been swamped and not been able to get my flying units out of there. He's managed to go ahead and get these other two out, but I really wanted to try and kill Imric. So right now, I've put my sword down onto Imric as well, dropping his armor down, making him a bit more susceptible. And I'm basically just trying to stop him from taking flight as best as I can. Leoncor is bum rushing him, and right now, the Grail Knights are having an absolute blast in the battlefield. He's going to throw both of his dragons back in, trying to kill Leoncor. I've also got my Paladin here as well with his Foe Seeker on, really trying to come in here. And yeah, this is just absolutely amazing for me right now. The Grail Knights, oh baby, they are just licking their lips as they move in against these dragons, just hitting away. The cavalry is trying its best. They've got the pox arrows constantly ranging in. And the nice thing is here as well is the pox arrows are hitting all of these dragons. Again, they're still super tanky, and I believe also a regrowth or two has been popped on these bad boys. Yeah, we got a regrowth dropped off here, and I'm basically just trying to keep this Mage of Life a bit busy and stop her from casting any more. I did throw in my Questing Knights. This was a bit of a suicide march of the Questing Knights, but I really wanted to just basically try and slow up this front line. I didn't want him to reinforce and try get involved in this, because if I kill these dragons, which I believe I've already actually killed one of them right now, if I kill all three of these dragons, that's a huge advantage for me, and I've basically lost no funds whatsoever. So, you know, sacrificing a unit of my Questing Knights, which, as I said, I'm kind of happy to do against three dragons, which are like 2,000 whatever gold. Obviously, Imric's probably around about 3,000 gold. That's like over like 65%, 70% of his funds. So, as I said, I'm kind of throwing him his unit of Questing Knights just to keep him busy back here, keep his mage away from healing his units. And, yeah, it's a sacrificial lamb, but as you can see off in the distance, the dragons are struggling. Imric is still holding on very nicely, though. As you can see, he's been popping HP bonuses constantly. He's actually almost at his regeneration limit right now. So yeah, he's definitely causing me some issues, and I do kind of give up on killing this moon dragon. I'm like, I cannot let Imric come back, because obviously he'll come back from routing. So I'm constantly pursuing Leoncor. The Grail Knights are constantly pursuing. I have nothing else to really kill this dragon. Obviously it's going to come back from routing. But also I do realize this, and I don't really overextend too much. And I just, yeah, again, I bring back some spearmen here to basically protect my back line. So if he does want to come down, I brought back some more Knights of the Realm. I stopped being as clumped up as possible, and I am going to finally, I believe, take down Imric. Yeah, finally take him down. The Dragon Lord is down. And yeah, that's going to be very nice. I do need to keep up my pursuit though. And there's a big fire breath going in there on my Grail Guardians. Luckily though, they weren't too affected by their Knights of the Realm looking very low. And I mean, again, my Grail Guardians were hit pretty hard by that Dragon Breath. But now I'm coming into range, and this is really one of the scarier things, and that's why I'm kind of so happy I managed to catch the dragons back here, because it meant I was out of range of the rest of the elven lines, meaning that I wasn't receiving all this Lothern Sea Guard missile fire that I would have probably been receiving if I had engaged, or if Dragon had decided to engage me like here, rather than all the way back there. But again, that was a very juicy target, trying to kill my damsel. That's a lot of healing that my knights, you know, constant regrowths, constant earth bloods onto my Grail Knights would have been very difficult for him to deal with, really would. I also actually managed to get a nice charge off here with some of my peasant spearmen going in on the silver and guard. I mean, just look at the difference in quality here as well, how hilarious that looks. My beautiful Bretonnian peasants going head to head against silver and guard. Yeah, I mean, best of luck, boys. I really, really do wish you the best of luck, but I think you're just slightly outclassed here. Not going to be faring too well. The other ones are also formed up as well. I actually really love this map. The kind of toxic kind of wasteland feel does feel super Warhammery, but I am going to push in here and basically just try my best to engage as much as physically possible. Obviously his backline's super scary, but at this point I'm feeling pretty confident. Leoncoeur can just chase down this dragon. The cavalry that I do have isn't huge, but I've still got cavalry, and I'm basically going to bring it round on every flank and just kind of collapse in here. Obviously killing his mage is going to be pretty important, because the constant healing, you can already see there's a regrowth dropped off on his moon dragon, which is going to heal it quite nicely. But Leoncoeur is going to pursue. And I also have my Paladin as well. Unfortunately, my Damsel didn't make it. But I still have the Paladin, which is nice. I'm going to be getting a debuff off on Leoncoeur as he tries his best to, yeah, just debuff basically everyone around him. Such a nice debuff, though. An AoE debuff going off is amazing. We get a beautiful cavalry charge there by the Knights of the Realm, going right into the back. The Questing Knights coming back as well. Going to go into the Lothern Sea Guard. Luckily, again, the Lothern Sea Guard do have their shields and their spears, so going to be doing okay. But again, that debuff, that sword that Leoncoeur does carry is going to be debuffing all of these guys, reducing their armor down to basically nothing. And again, he's going to be just going in there, trying to kill this dragon. Now, that's one of the super scary things I realized in Warhammer and with these dragons is they don't die. They regenerate, especially if you've got a mage helping them out as well. My god, that was it. Yeah, you know, this dragon has been taking so much damage. And even with Leoncoeur trying to bring it down, you know, it's still there healing. And they're just super, super scary. You can definitely put a lot of pressure into them. Luckily, though, I do have my Grail Guardians and the rest of my Knights just harassing his back line. And I mean, this battle was basically mine for the taking. As soon as I managed to trap his dragons there with my Grail Guardians, it was basically GG. And obviously, with poison arrows is just so useful to deal with stuff like this, to deal with flyers, to deal with a lot of the other more maneuverable units. Like that speed debuff is just gives you, it's not like crazy, but it just gives you that little bit extra juice that you need to turn the tides of the battle and put it in your favor. So I'm a huge fan, and I'm definitely getting very much used to Bretonnia. I feel like I could definitely take on a handful of opponents now with my roster. And at this point, the battle does just evolve. His dragon does fly off into the wings. I managed to break his mage and yeah, turn that tide of the battle into my favor. Yeah, as you can see, like his dragons just did not manage to get into this battle. And yeah, as soon as them dragons went down, it was basically GG, honestly. Leoncoeur and the rest of the boys managed to really get stuck in. I mean, kill-wise, there wasn't really many kills to be had this day, but a lot of the kills were on, obviously, these extremely valuable targets. And yeah, I guess, again, if I could, I would definitely trade the damsel for the kills I managed to get. That is for sure, because yeah, she sacrificed her life, but it allowed the battle to be won. And I really do like this high health comp as well. It's really scary to have to deal with something like this, actually. Really is. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. I really appreciate all the love and support I've been getting on these Warhammer 2 battles as I try and bring more and more of them to the fold. If you guys would like to see more custom battles, like on custom maps, do let me know. I would love to get a party together and do some more of them battles again. If you guys want to be a part of those battles, make sure you join my Discord. The link is down below in the description. Just let me know that you'd be down to do it in the Discord, and I'd be happy to maybe get a game together. We can maybe play on like Kislev or some of the awesome custom maps, because I'd love to start doing that again. They were a lot of fun, and now that I'm not necessarily as burnt out on Warhammer as I once was, it'd be really fun to get back into them and start doing them awesome custom maps again, because there's so many amazing modders in the Warhammer community. I'd love to start showcasing some of their work again. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any tips for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.